Without this young lady, that we almost didn't get married because I was supposed to meet her outside of the Waves Barracks at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was out there waiting outside in a restricted area, waiting for Helen. And she didn't come and she didn't come. And I said, my God, she changed her mind. So finally a bunch of waves came by. And I said, do you know Helen Olson? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, we're supposed to get married today. Would you please kick her out? She was sound asleep. Talk about a casualty. But we were very, very fortunate. I had a dear friend whose father, brother, uncle, whomever, owned probably one of the nicest nightclubs in San Diego. It was called Paul's Inn, 10th and A Street. And that gentleman, who never met me, didn't know me, gave us our wedding dinner, our wedding cake, and made it a beautiful, beautiful evening. Unfortunately, Josie, my sister Josephine, couldn't be here tonight because Josie is not only my sister, 65 years old, a 95-year-old sister, but she's also my godmother. And I really wanted to see her today. But she was the only one other than myself and my wife that were at our wedding. It was during the war. And she was working for the government, driving trucks, driving amphibious cars, boats, you name it, driving caravans. And a little tiny gal that she was, she and her friend, I guess it was Beulah, wasn't it? Came down to San Jose, to San Diego, and came to our wedding. The only member of our family that did. They finally came to the hotel room after my dear friend Mike Worthington, with whom I named my first son after. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful man. Unfortunately, he passed on, and he always told me, but Celestre, he called me always Celestre, live for today, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. And he passed on at about 45 years old. It was too bad. He smoked too much, just like we all did in those days. But he was Jane Dolly was Helen's best friend. And that's how I met Helen. Jane was the chief dental officer's yeoman. He was a captain, four-star in the Navy. And Jane had Helen's picture on her desk. Her desk was right next to mine in the office of the dental clinic. And I saw this picture of this gorgeous blonde. And I said, who is that pretty girl? And she said, that's my best chum. And she said, that's Helen Olson. And I said, gosh, I would love to meet that girl. Would you bring her down to the dental clinic? I was the dental technician and ran the office of the dental clinic. We had a big dental clinic, about 60, 70 acres down in that dental clinic. And so she said, yeah, I can do that. So one night Helen came down to the dental clinic. I had the duty. And I saw her, and our counter was about that high where you could almost rest your elbow when you're signing in. I jumped right over that counter. And she took off running down the hall. And I chased her down the hall about 3 times the length of this room. And I finally caught her, and she's screaming. She thought I was crazy. I really was. But by golly, are
This is a good story.
5 months to the day after our first date. We were married. And that was 65 years ago today. But